Okay, welcome back to EENG 460, and today we are going to look at some logical operators, in particular the AND, OR, AND immediate, OR immediate, and NOR command. All right. So I've got QT-SPIM up here, and let's reinitialize the simulator, clear everything out, and then let me bring over my demo program. Today's demo program is going to look at the AND operator, the OR, AND immediate, OR immediate, and NOR. Okay. So, once again, I usually have comments up here, and then I have my data segment right here. And there is my preprocessor directive, the data keyword. And I basically set up two strings, one called title, one called NT. They're ASCII strings, null terminated with the Z. The first one, title, equals logical demo program, and then two carriage returns. And then NT is my normal termination. Right? Then I've got my text segment. All right, let's take a look at that guy. The text segment, you start off with the preprocessor directive .text, and then I create a global variable called myMain, and myMain identifies the beginning of where the main program is. And then here's the program right here. And what we're going to do is we are going to use the load immediate command to put 4 into the V0 register. All right, so now I'm doing something with syscall because I'm programming V0. And then what I'm going to do is I want to print out title, so I got to put the address of title into A0. LA is load address, and then I do syscall. When you do syscall, it's going to look at V0 and says, oh, there's a 4 in it. Okay, I need to print out a null terminated string whose address is represented by the contents of A0, which in this case is title, which goes up to here, finds out the offset from the data segment. Since it's the first element in the data segment, the offset's 0, and this guy starts off at 1001 quad 0, and it prints out all the way up to the null termination, which is why we have the Z here. Okay, well then I come down to here, the next line, and I say, well, let's put a quad 5, quad A into T1. All right, so T1 is going to contain quad 5, quad A, and then I'm going to do load immediate on T2, and T2 is going to contain quad A, quad 5. All right, so it's backwards. So if you notice, an A is 1010, and a 5 is 0101. That's kind of one way of testing memory, right? Because it alternates the bits. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the AND. And the AND is an R-type command. R-type meaning it operates on 3 registers. It takes the contents of T1, which is quad 5, quad A, and it does a bitwise AND with the contents of T2, quad A, quad 5. Well, these alternate, so the result should be 0 when I AND them because they don't have any bits in common. Now when I come along and do the OR, I'm going to take the contents of T1, which is quad 5, quad A, and then the contents of T2, which is quad A, quad 5. And now I'm going to do a bitwise OR, and then we're going to be they're alternating. A is 1010, 5 is 0101. So when you OR them together, this should be all ones, or quad F, quad F. Okay. Now the other type of command is the AND immediate. I stands for immediate, which means it's not an R-type command, but it's an I-type command. Well, in I-type commands, you typically have a source register and then a destination register, just 2 of them. And actually, the target register acts like the destination register here. And there's a multiplexer in front of that input. So what you're going to do here is you're going to take the contents of T1, which again hasn't changed. It's quad 5, quad A. And then you're going to do a bitwise AND, but now you can only have a 16-bit quantity here because it's immediate instruction. There's only 16 bits for that immediate argument. And what that's going to do, it's going to do a bit-by-bit AND with 00FF. So it's going to clear out all these upper bits and then just maintain these bits down here, because if you AND anything with F, you get what you ANDed, which is going to be AA. And then on the OR immediate, we're going to take the contents of T2, which are quad A, quad 5, and now I'm going to OR it with FF00. So anytime you OR anything with a 1, you get a 1. So that's going to basically go up here and replace that 5 with an FF. And then whatever I get in 5 and 6, I'm going to come down and take those two guys. I'm going to operate on those with a NOR, so I'm going to OR them together and NOT, and that's what should be in 7. And then here I print out my normal termination, and then I terminate the program. All right, so let's go ahead and save that. And then go to QT-SPIM and do File. Let's reinitialize, load file. And this guy is your AND or NOR. And here's the program over here. Here's your stuff from your .s file. Now again, LI is a pseudo command that gets converted to an OR immediate. LA, load address, is a pseudo command that gets converted to a load upper immediate. But of course, AND is an official MIPS command, so it gets mapped to here. And immediate is also an official MIPS command, so it gets mapped to here. Notice that, over here I use T3, 1, and 2, but then when it interprets my code and creates official MIPS code, it actually replaces T3 with 11, 9, and 10. Okay, so 11, 9, and 10, if you go to the registers tab, yeah, that's just this right here, 11, 9, and 10. Okay? So it kind of takes out that S and T, and it just gives me the official register number. And then, of course, we know over here, these are the locations in memory where the code is stored. And this is the actual binary representation. This is the 32-bit representation of this particular operation. All right, so let's go ahead and step through this program. First thing I did is I put 4 into V0. Let's check it out. Yep, there is 4. It's in V0. All right, let's go back to here. And then I am going to load the address of title into A0. All right, let's go see what's in A0. A0 was 1001 quad 0. Well, that's the beginning of the data segment. And if you go back and look at your code, title was the first thing we had in the data segment. It had an offset of 0. I'm going to do syscall. Let's put the console window up there because that's going to print something out. Okay, let's see. Can I shrink this down again? Let me bring this down to here and bring the console window over to here. I don't need a big console window. We'll do something like that. So now, when I hit F10, we get an output in the console window, and it's load demo program. All right, now I am going to do load immediate T1, but load immediate is a pseudo command that gets mapped to actually two MIPS commands, load upper immediate and OR immediate. So we hit F10 twice. And now if we go look at T1, we should have quad 5 quad A in it. And there is T1, quad 5 quad A. Okay. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is load immediate, which is a pseudo command, gets mapped to load upper immediate or immediate. And we're going to put quad A, quad 5 into T2. And there you go. Quad A, quad 5 into T2. Okay, back to the text section segment. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bitwise AND on 1 and 2. And then I'm going to do a bitwise OR on 1 and 2 and put it in 3 and 4. So we looked at quad 5, quad A, quad A, quad 5. I did a bitwise AND, put the result in T3, and that's going to be 0 because 5 is a 0, 1, 0, 1, and A is a 1, 0, 1, 0. When you bitwise AND, you get 0. Now when you do a bitwise OR, you get 1 on all those. 5 ORed with F is F. So the answer is quad F, quad F. Now here I am going to do an AND immediate. I'm going to take the contents of T1 and I'm going to zero out everything except the lower 8 bits. Okay. All right, let's do that. Let's go take a look at T5. So what we did here is we took T1 and I did a bitwise AND with the lower 8 bits and I got AA, okay, just like I'd expect. Now here I am going to load T2 with FF00. And then I am going to do an OR immediate on 2. So I'm basically going to set these upper 8 bits to 1 on T2, and the result should be in T6. And let's see. So we took T2, we did a bitwise OR, which ORed 5-5 with FF, and then notice what happened down here. Yeah, we basically got T2, but the 5-5 went to an FF. 5-5 went to an FF because we did a bitwise OR. Okay. So now I'm going to NOR, so let's do a NOR here. We're going to NOR 5 and 6 together. So let's see if we can do that in our head. All right, so let's see. 5 is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, AA. So we OR A and 5 together. I OR AA and 5, 5 together. And I get FF, and then I have to invert it, which gives me 0. Okay, then the remaining part of T5 is 0. So when you OR 0 with F, you get F, and then you invert, you get 0. When you OR 0 with A, you get A, and then when you invert, you get 5. When you OR 0 with A and then invert, you get 5, and then there's your answer. Quad 5, quad 0 in T7. Okay, the next thing is to load immediate V0 with 4, which means I'm going to print a string. What string am I going to print? Well, NT, address into A0, and then I do syscall. When I do syscall, I should get some output in the console. And that was normal termination of program, and then I do load VI, load immediate V010 to say normal termination, hit F10 once, hit it twice, and the program has terminated. And you notice down here you have a stopped. You may try to run your program and nothing happens, well, hit F10 to get the stop message down here, and then you will be able to start it again. All right, okay, well that pretty much ends up the logical demo. Thanks for watching. See you next time.